Religions get damaged when the big guys show up. And I think it's probably fair to say that most things get damaged a little while after the big guys show up, because the big guys are what mystics would call animal people. They want to be the leader of the pack. So the person who wants to be the leader of the pack is going to take over once the original spiritual impulse has died, or the person carrying it has died, or it's, say, a generation after that impulse. And once we lose that initial spiritual impulse, the connection with the divine in whatever form we see it, then it's much easier for the animal people to step up and say, well, I'll take it from here. And they may do it with perhaps the best intentions along the lines of, I'll hold to the law until the next good, clear impulse comes along. Because if we don't have the impulse, we need to hold to the law. And that basically is the story of most fundamentalist Christianity. They've lost the spirit. They've lost the initial impulse, which is always about love, about harmony, about connection. It's the big guys, the animal people, who start saying, this is our tribe, that's not our tribe. These are our people, those are not our people. And it goes along the lines, the human ego literally compares, contrasts, conflicts, condemns, and crucifies. Because the human ego needs to make the other, not part of our pack, lesser or wrong. Now, in the case of Christianity, this basically happened when the Emperor Constantine was fighting a civil war. He wanted to become the Augustus, the one emperor of Rome. And this was in the early 4th century. Now, legend says, and it is only a legend, that Constantine had a vision before a battle, a deciding battle on whether he'd become emperor. And he had this vision of a cross in the sky. He first saw it apparently as an X, which is part of the ancient Hebrew marking of the high priest. Not, we wouldn't call it an X in those days, but anyway, he turned it to here. And that's what he apparently saw, and he won the battle. He also then had a dream, apparently, which said, put that cross on the shields of your soldiers and you will be invincible. Now, this is entirely possible because up until then, Constantine worshipped Sol Invictus, which was the name of the sun god. And of course, Jesus replaced that in Roman theology because Sol Invictus had a great golden halo with spikes coming out, and he was a king on a throne. And Jesus, having been depicted as a shepherd in a short tunic carrying sheep, and that's the image of him that's on the catacombs in all the ancient places, the earliest images of Jesus, actually quite androgynous, but definitely as a shepherd. And this is replaced by a sun god. And Constantine was behind the Edict of Milan in the year 313, which stopped all the persecution of the Christians. Up until then, they'd been pretty badly persecuted. Nero blamed them for the fires of Rome, and of course, they were thrown into the Colosseum and attacked by lions, and they were martyred right, left, and center because a religion that was about being humble, being in community, being kind and welcoming the outsider, the women, the slaves, which is what early Christianity did, was never going to be of any use to people in power. And whether Constantine had good intentions or not, whether he took on Christianity because when he became Emperor Augustus, the overall ruler, he just wanted to bring something new in, we'll never quite know. Eusebius, the church father, wrote about these legends, but we do know that he was writing under Constantine's instruction. We do also know that Constantine's mother, Helena, was indeed a Christian. She went to the Holy Land and allegedly, and I'm sorry if I'm disparaging her, but allegedly found some of the true cross. There are lots of people who found some of the true cross, and it's sort of unlikely that anybody would have found the true cross. But we'll talk about relics another day, shall we? Anyway, Helena was a fervent Christian. We don't know how much Constantine was influenced by his mother. We do know he wasn't actually baptized into Christianity until his deathbed. But the story behind this is simply that Christianity stopped being a cult, if you like, of the people, of the lost, of the lonely, of the dispossessed. Now, it may be that it needed an upgrade. All faiths do need to be upgraded. But this time it came into the hands of the emperor. And the emperor was fighting battles to hold his nation. The emperor was a very animal man. And from then on, that's when official priesthood came in, bishops, basilicas, all the trappings of Rome, the trappings of imperial religion. And frankly, that was the moment that Christianity was lost. It may have been done with the best intentions. And ever since then, there have been pockets of wonderful Christians and Christianity, amazing people, extraordinary teachers, but they've all taken it back to the root. And nearly all of them have been persecuted or disbelieved to start with. The ones who want to take it back to Christ are the ones who have the Spirit and are not led by the animal.